Page 54, Jingle-Bell Rock. Another fun piece. Let's go through my little system for learning a piece of music and see what we got. It's 2 pages long, but it's a little longer now because you got a repeat sign on page 54. But there's only 2 pages of music to learn. That's what I'm after. Treble and bass clef, no sharps or flats in the key signatures, so we're either in the key of C major or A minor. Well, I look at the end on page 55, the last measure, the last chord is here. That's a C chord. I figure we're in C major, but I'm going to do the scales and arpeggios for the key signatures, so I'm going to do the C major and A minor stuff. Yeah. Now, 4/4 time signature. Let's take it one hand at a time. Make sure the fingering and rhythm is all working out. I have fingering suggestions. I usually do. So here, at the beginning, you're here. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. See, I'm feeling this melody. That's what I want. That's why I'm using these fingers on that. That's tight. And then again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The thumb comes up. And if this rhythm is throwing you, I don't understand the rhythm. I can measure 2. Then take out the tie and play all the notes. That makes sense. 1 and 2 and 3. Once you get a feel for that, then just put the tie in. You're just hanging on to the note instead of playing it again. Now, measure 4, you're here, and then once you come down to here. I'd rather not. I don't want to use the thumb twice. I mean, it could. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't want to. So I adjust the fingering and measure 4. Just bring the little finger, or the index down. Here. That way the thumb is saved for here. Now measure 5. This rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 1, you have a note, and on beat 3, you have a note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Takes a little bit to get it, but eventually it rocks. Measure 7, 1 and. Remember that G sharp? That's good for the rest of the measures, so they're all. And D sharp, just reach down. And then you repeat back to the top. Let's go on. This is second ending there. Well, go back to measure 6. You're here. And then now we're going to go on to the second ending. During the rest, you come up. And then 4th finger now, because we need the 5th finger for the D. And this rhythm in measure 11. 1 and 2 and. It's the dotted rhythm, and it's tied. Well, if I take out the tie, it's 1 and 2 and 3. That's what it is. But when I put the tie in, I'm just hanging on the note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now on measure 13, is it? They want this. And because of the articulation, you can get away with that. But again, I like to try and finger things connected at first. So I'm going to go on measure 13, I'm going to go 5. So the 8th note in measure 12 is 4 and then 5. Here. And then 2, 4, 1, 3, and 2, 1. Bring the thumb down. So it's. That's what I want to do. You do it again. Measure 17. Natural sign. 1. It's a natural anyway. You don't need the natural sign. I let they're being clear. 1 and 2. Measure 18. 1 and 2 and. You've had this rhythm before in various arrangements. And you're back to what you were doing at the beginning. Let's go to measure 21. You're here. Through the 3rd finger. If you don't want to be up in here, then we got to do here, which means instead of 3rd finger, it's got to be 4th finger. So in measure 21, it'd be 4th finger, and then you can do that. if you want to be out here. Otherwise, fingering in the book is fine. Then during the rest, you come up. Flat. Measure 25. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2. 1 and. Okay. And by the way, on these chords, like at the beginning, I want to stay relaxed. So I'm hinging at the wrist. Bum, bum, bum. It's a real motion, a small motion, but I'm not doing this. It's this. It's a very small motion. Stay relaxed, and this works well. If you tense up, this doesn't work at all. Anyway, left hand. Let's go here. 1, rest, rest. 1 and 2 and. Because you're going to play with the right hand, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2. On beat, this is measure 3. On beat 2, you're going to rest. 1 and 2 and. And then measure 4, come up. 1 and 2 and. So it's 1 and 2 and 3. So it's got some interesting rhythms going, a lot of syncopation. Let's go down to the bottom, page 55 on measure 27. You're here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And then down. That's fine. Put the hands together. Now I'm interested in when do they play at the same time and so forth, and which fingers are we using. Well, here, it's here. Make sure you lift up on beat 2 in the left hand. Those are together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'll have to let you work out the rhythm there. It's a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and then here and then here. Sometimes it helps a little when they play at the same time on this. Make sure these are by themselves, the left hand's resting. Was measure 7 and 8 in case you're lost. Now let's go to the second ending. Let's measure 9. You're here. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. This is measure 14. 1 and 2. You're resting in the left hand on beat 1. 1 and 2. So I'll start on measure 13. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So I play it first and then lift up. Again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Measure 18. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We keep playing on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So there's a lot of syncopation and things going on in here. Just take it as slow as you need to go. And then gradually go back through and work out the glitches so it's a steady beat. And then once I have that, I'll add the articulation, the staccatos and accents and things. And here, just flex at the wrist. Accent. And to measure 5 and 6, play all this connected. Staccato on measure 7, accent. Yeah. you go through and put in the staccatos and accents and things. And then we think about the dynamics. MF at the beginning is mezzo forte, is sort of loud. That's the melody. If you can't bring out one note, play that in the saw, then you just have to play the right hand. Play them the same. It's up to you. The left hand needs to be in the background. The accented note then is going to be a loud note. It takes it up. The accent takes it up a notch from where you're at. But this is in the background. It's this. Now measure 5 mezzo piano. You come down. Accented note takes it up to about a moderately loud. Loud. I don't know that you need an accent on loud, but now the second ending, you're starting that moderately saw and a little louder. Now you're loud. Here. The left hand's in the background. Now get over to measure 19, you come down like you were at the beginning, moderately loud. Measure 23, you're loud again. Here, in the right hand. Soft. This measure 26, you're echoing that. Loud. Here. You can bring the right hand up here, the left hand up. And then here, the last chord's really a very loud note because you're loud with an accent, takes it out. And let the wrist collapse a little bit. Don't tense up. This, relax. Just a lot of weight is all it is. Then I think about the speed. Well, it has to be accurate and under control. So what can you do? This is not a real fast piece. And they're saying with a light swing. I've heard this played straight, I mean, rock and roll, just straight eighth notes. That's fine. You can do it that way if you want, as far as I'm concerned. But they're saying with a light swing, which means we're going to swing the rhythm. That means instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and, we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're going to swing it. There's no notation for it. You just have to feel this. And it's the eighth notes. But that's basically what we're doing here. Not fast, not slow, just kind of in the middle. Have fun with it. You can go a little faster than I was going. But don't go too fast because the swing rhythm won't work fast. Swing anymore. It's just so let it swing. Be happy, but not too happy, I guess. Now they've added pedal in a few places, and it's for the overtones and for the special effects more than anything else, because you really don't need pedal. So let's look at how they're using it. In measure 3, you push it down with the notes. Lift it up as you play the notes in measure 4. That's basically it for there. Now on top of page 55, we want to connect this. And it's really, you got to listen to the sound and the effect the pedal is having. They're keeping it kind of simple for you, the pedaling, but you know, we can do more. Measure 15, you play it with the notes, change it. And I'm going to lift it up so that's clean. And then I'm going to lift it up here on measure 16. I want this. I want to hear that. I want to hear a little silence there too. It's interpretation. So I got to lift the pedal up. That's how I would do it. And then at the end, the bottom, push it up. Push down with that note, and then lift up as you play the staccato. So we get a staccato just a little bit at the end. You can experiment. There may be other places that you want to use pedal, but again, we don't want to change the atmosphere. I mean, this is a bouncy, rocking along here. Huh? Now you understand the roadmap, I hope, because you got endings there on page 54. You play it down to measure 7 and 8. That's the first ending. Then you repeat back to the beginning. And second time you skip 7 and 8, measure 7 and 8, and go directly to the second ending, which is measures 9 and 10, and then you go on and play the rest of it. And that's fairly straightforward, I hope.